Hello guys, welcome to another reading vlog. In this video, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I'm filming this after the video is over because I forgot to film a beginning, but in this video, you guys are gonna go with me while I read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 books, which I realize is way too many for one video, but it is what it is. We are gonna be reading, I don't have physically, The Measure by Nikki Erlich, I believe is the name of her. It was my book club pick for the month of August. I have our book club linked down below. It's completely free on Fable, and additionally, it is no commitment. If you do not like the book or don't like the vibes of the book or don't feel like reading the book, don't read it. But if you want to join, it is linked down below. In the other books, we are going to be going through, I did read Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez. This book, I had already planned, I was already reading it before I started the video, so I did that. Then the rest of them were the books picked from my TBR jar video. Make sure you check that out on the channel. It's under the book talk playlist, but I'll try to remember the prompts. I should have kept them inside the cover of the book, but I didn't. The Tattoo of Auschwitz by Heather Morris. This was for a book based on real life. We had The Housemaid is Watching by Frida McFadden. This was next in a series. We had Twice in a Blue Moon, something written by 2 authors, I believe. Final Girls by Riley Sager. I believe that this was odd number of pages. Darling Girls by Sally Hepworth. I have no idea what the prompt was for this one. And Hello Stranger by Catherine Center. I believe the prompt for this one was new to me author. But yeah, so we're gonna fast forward into the clips of me reading these things. Oh, we have a lot to catch up on. I read 2 books while I was out of town this past week. We'll give thoughts and feelings. This book is My Current Roman Empire. I absolutely am obsessed with this. It was so good. I liked Part of Your World just fine. I literally feel like after reading this, I want to go back and put Part of Your World as only a 3 stars because this was just leaps and bounds, so much better. Love. We'll go into our full reviews, but simply a 5 out of 5. So we did finish her. And then we finished Final Girls by Riley Sager, which was my last book in Riley's backlog of books I had not read yet. And this was his first thriller book, and I am going to be honest, I did not like it. I gave it a 2 star, which has put me into a bit of a book slump because now I don't feel like reading at all, but I want to get back more into our book club book, which I'm going to go take a shower because my back hurts really bad, and I am reading that, which book club this month is The Measure, which was one of the books I did not pull for, obviously, because I knew I was going to need to read it. I'm only 16% in, so not super far, but it is giving me a lot to think about. That is for dang sure. And then after that, we have 1, 2, 3. We still have 1, 2, 3, 5 books to read. I think after this book, depending on how this book makes me feel, if it's making me feel kind of down in the dumpy poos, then I'll grab one of the romances. And if it's not, then I'll grab one of the thrillers. And then, so my plan is to finish this book and then either read a thriller or a romance, then read the opposite. So it's either going to go this book, thriller, romance, The Tattooist of Auschwitz, thriller, romance, or it'll go romance, thriller, Tattooist of Auschwitz, romance, thriller. So we're separating the genres as far apart as possible. It's just what I like to do so that I don't feel slumpy, because right now I'm feeling so slumpy after that book. It was just not the vibes. I think I will go so far as to say I liked it less than The House Across the Lake, which was my least favorite of his books prior. Probably by the time you see this, it'll already be up. I'll do a full reel ranking them, but it's definitively my least favorite. I literally turned on my closet light so I could have lighting to tell you guys this, but basically, if you don't know the premise of The Measure, essentially, it is a dystopian type story where all of a sudden one day everybody over the age of 22 gets a box on their front door, and in the box is a string of varying lengths, and the length determines how much longer you have to live. I'm only 16% in, so I don't really know a ton, but it's like a big debate of people whether to open it or not. And so I wanted to know, if you were in that situation, what would you do? I personally would open it because with my particular flavor of anxiety, not knowing would be more detrimental to my well-being than knowing one way or the other. So I would open it. Again, I'm being illuminated by the closet light, but I did want to tell you guys, I am 85% done with the book club book, The Measure by Nikki whatever. And I can already tell you, I have swiftly decided that the next book will absolutely be one of the romances. I'm leaning towards the Christina Lauren, because I'm not familiar with Catherine Center's writing, and I don't know if like her books have like a sadness in them, but this book is very, very heavy and very, very serious topics. And I know that Darling Girls has very serious topics. Obviously, The Tattooist of Auschwitz is very serious topics. The Frida book, The Housemaid is Watching, is probably not that serious, but it's not like happy. So I think I need just like a happy little frilly romance after reading this. So I think that the order is going to go. I'm going to finish this tonight and start the Twice in a Blue Moon. And then after I finish that, I'm going to read The Housemaid is Watching. And then I'll read The Tattooist of Auschwitz, then Hello Stranger, then Darling Girls. That is my current plan of attack. And I am just going to attack it and get her read. I read most of it last night, and I'll go over this more in depth at the end, but basically, I need to sit down. I just don't want to be standing anymore, so I'm going to have to deal with the lighting. But I guess I could just turn on the light. Basically, one moment. Duh, I just propped you guys up on my Kindle stand so that I don't have to hold you. So yeah, this is by Nikki Ehrlich. So far in book club, 2 people have given it 4 stars and 1 person gave it 2 stars. I'm leaning simply towards a 5-star. We're at 85% and I have 46 minutes left in the book. I definitely want to buy the physical copy, and I want to like highlight all the things because this book is speaking to me so deeply. If you don't know the premise of this book, basically, life is normal. It's like dystopian. I don't know if I've described this already, so if I have, Chris, just fast forward through me saying this because I'm being dumb. But there's so much going on between like the long stringers and the short stringers. And as somebody who has experienced tremendous loss with somebody who would have been defined as a short stringer, my mom, she died when she was 48. That would be considered a short life. And so this book has really got me thinking. There like just so many parts of it have gotten me really emotional because it makes me think of my mom and everything with that. And I feel like because of that, I can like deeply feel this book, and it's just given me so much to think about. But I definitely going from a thriller to this, it's just been like really unhappy vibes all around. So like I said, I'm gonna read Twice in a Blue Moon after this. Check, my Kindle's name is Cindy. I'm gonna check Cindy for what time it is. It's already 8:30, so I'll finish this before 9:30, and so I'll probably get like a few chapters into Twice in a Blue Moon. Maybe when Chris comes in, he'll be interested in reading with me. So as a toss up. Also, I did, if I did not mention it to you guys, re-sign up for Book of the Month. I like gave up on it a while ago because I was really not liking my Book of the Month picks for a while. And I was very overwhelmed with my physical TBR, but I've been doing so freaking good doing these videos. It's been so fun to do these. I've been doing really well at working through my physical TBR. So I thought, why the heck not? Let's re-sign up. I will have the link down below for my referral code. If you do use it, you will get a discount. I believe you'll get a book for $9.95 or $9.99. There's always some kind of code for like your first sign up. Sometimes it's $5, sometimes it's $10. And then I will also get a credit towards a book. So like, obviously I'd really appreciate it if you'd sign up. I'm probably also gonna sign up for Aardvark book. My bestie pal Andrea does have a code with them. I think it's, you guys are on my phone. I think it's Read Withdraw. Yeah, but if I remember, I'll put that down below, to get your first book from Aardvark Books for $5. I was gonna sign up for August, but I didn't really like any of the picks. So I decided I will just wait until like there's a month where I'm like really excited about it, because going forward you can like skip the months, but I don't want to sign up and not pick anything. So there's that. But this was my August 2024 book of the month pick, and it is A 5-Star Stranger by Kat Tang, and I just love, like, the colors are so fun. I feel like I feel like I'm always like, oh yeah, I probably barely have any yellow books. I have like quite a few yellow books. My biggest colors are black and blue, and then red, orange, and yellow and green are all tied. And then I have basically no purple, very few amount of pink, very few white, and a handful of tan. But yeah, so this book is, from what I'm gathering, there is this guy, I don't think it even really mentions his name in the synopsis, but yeah, he's referred to only as Stranger. And he is in New York, and he tries to maintain a professional distance from his clients, where he is hired to be whatever you want him to be: the best man at your wedding, your stand-in brother, the father to your child. But yeah, sounds very interesting, and I love this art. Here is the author, Cutie Pie. Yeah, but I did re-sign up for that, but also the measure is also this exact same color yellow of a book. So I don't know what it is with the yellows, but I am excited to finish my book club book and then start the Christina Lauren, which is a blue book. So of my books that are going to be going onto my shelf after this, is so long as I don't get rid of any of them. We got 2 reds, 3 blues, a white, 4 blues, and a white. The white's good. I don't have many of those, but I'm going to shut up and get to reading. I might eat a donut, but the thing is, so like, if you're like, I don't know how widespread they are, but in Austin, I'm from Austin, there's this donut place called Round Rock Donuts, and so good. Like Krispy Kreme wishes they could be Round Rock Donuts. The donuts are like so good. And we were by one today because my husband's phone broke and he had to go get it fixed, and I was like, let's just stop. And I was like, okay, I'll get like a half a dozen. And Chris is like, yeah, like 3 for you, 3 for me, it'll be great. And I'm like, I can eat 3 right now. So then I was like, maybe I'll get 8. They're only 99 cents. Also, like, in this economy, shocking. So I was like, I'll just get 8. And I'm like, that's like $8. And then a dozen is like $9.50. Simply got a dozen. But I'm gonna shut up now for real, and read my book. Hello guys, I'm about 30% into the Twice in a Blue Moon, I believe, book, and y'all, I'm hoping it starts to get good soon, because we're like 30% in to a book that's only like 300 something pages, so it's not even like it's a long book, and just like the setup to get here has been so long for a romance book, and I am so bored. Finally, something like actually juicy has happened, thank God, but so far this is my least favorite Christina Lauren I've ever read. Help! I switched to the Halloween sheets. Y'all, this book is so bad. I'm thinking about giving it a 1 star, because like I would actively tell people to not read it. So I think that's where I'm sitting on it. And then I think I'm gonna take a break from this video, because the 2 books I've read for it so far have sucked. So, ugh. And the next one I was going to read was The Housemaid is Watching, which I've heard very mixed reviews on, and it's quite long. And I just signed up for NetGalley, and I think I got like 6 books that I like had put in for. So I think I'm going to read one of those. Not sure which one. Maybe I'll keep you guys updated on it. Maybe I won't, but I have like 15 minutes left in this book. But yeah, I got The Borrowed Life of Frederick Fife, Off Track, A 5-Letter Word for Love. I'm not really sure why Off Track is on here twice, but it is. The Therapist's Daughter, Bad Publicity, Fun for the Whole Family, I Need You to Read This, and Book of the Month. So we have lots of those to pick from. So I think I might do A 5-Letter Word for Love. I'm going to see how long it is. like, I really want, like, a cute romance, but, like, this one's bad. So bad. Okay, this is not perfect, and then I accidentally X'd out of the file and didn't save it to cut the outline, but obviously my stupid thing kind of, like, ruins the vibes, but I did, like, pixie, magenta, and hollow. It's obviously not perfect, like I said, because I'm, like, in the middle of working on orders and just wanted to play, but it's pretty cute. Okay, I have you guys on my Kindle stand, so I don't have to hold you. I literally took her down. If you can tell by that, we did finish The Housemaid is Watching. I don't know if I told you guys that I even started that. I'm trying to connect my page clicker and it's acting weird. It's just like flashing like this, and that usually... One moment. Okay, got that situated. But I finished The Housemaid is Watching, and I can't wait to get into the spoilers at the end of this video because it was so good. I do agree that the beginning half of the book was quite slow. It was kind of just story building, but I feel like after 600 pages over 600 pages between the other two books of these characters, probably closer to 700 pages, I was, like, interested in what was going on, even if it wasn't, like, thrilling. But the third installment was really good, and I feel like Frida herself has, like, said that it's the last one, and it was just wrapped up so perfectly. Absolutely loved it. I gave it 4 stars because of the beginning being kind of slow. And today is, I take Wednesdays are my full day off of work. Though I've done some work today, but I'm going to just hopefully read this whole book, maybe start another book. I've only read the prologue of this, so I'm sure however much time left it says isn't really accurate. It says 3 hours and 40 minutes. So it is currently 1. So yeah, I can definitely finish this today and probably read like half of Hello Stranger, because that book is also not very long. And then hopefully by the end of this week, we'll be done with this video. And yeah, I decided to not read any of the ARC books. I think after this, my next reading vlog is going to be like reading ARCs, maybe? We'll see. But I'm excited to continue on with this book. Okay, y'all, we got some ice cream, and I'm going to be starting the Hello Stranger book by Catherine Center. I'm going to get my Kindle stand ready. There we go. Looking a lot clearer now. From what I'm gathering about this book, it's giving very much so like the same vibes as the movie The Vow with Rachel McAdams. This girl, something happens and she ends up with facial blindness. That's all I really know about it, but it's just barely 300 pages, and it's like, I would say maybe 7 o'clock would be my guess. 8 o'clock. Probably like won't go to sleep until midnight, 1 o'clock, so 4 or 5 hours. It says it's going to take me 4.5 hours to read this, so I'm not like committing to reading the whole thing. We'll see. If I'm like not vibing with it, I will just watch the rest of the new episodes of Love is Blind UK. I keep almost saying Love Island UK. No, Love is Blind. Well, it's midnight and I just finished Hello Stranger. Oh my god, 4.5 stars. It was so good. I absolutely loved it. It's one of those things where, like, a big message of the book, I don't think this is a spoiler, is, like, you get what you're looking for in life. Like, if you're looking at the bad, you'll get bad. If you're looking at the good, you'll get good. And I feel like that was just a message I, like, really needed at this point in time. And y'all know, being part of the hashtag Dead Mom Club, a dead mom in a book really sucks me in, you know? Not us chatting while it's still light outside, I'll be honest. Oh my god. A frog in my throat. I actually prefer reading when it's dark out. It just feels more cozy, especially because I'm about to start this, the last book for this video. I'm trying to think maybe I should have these videos be less books. I feel like most people's book vlogs are like 3 or 4 books, And this video is 7 books. It's supposed to be 6, but ended up being 7. Why? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, because I was already reading yours truly, and I just threw it in. But I don't know. I personally like longer videos, and so like some of the booktubers I watch, the videos are a little bit shorter, and I'm like, I just wish it was like longer. So here we are. But I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Mother Nature paid me a visit today. Don't feel great. So it's like 7 o'clock. I mean, I have not read any of this book for this amount of time till in the book left. It says 4 hours. I feel like that seems pretty accurate for how long I'll read it'll take me. It'll probably take me more like 3.5 if I'm being like really thinking about it. 'Cause it's like a little over 300 pages. Depends how distracted and or bored I am. So that's the current plan. Oh my god, I do not feel good. I might have to summon my husband to heat me up a heating pad thing, but yeah. I'm going to start Darling Girls by Sally Hepworth. I've only ever read one other book by Sally, and it was The Soulmate. And I feel like overall on the internet, I feel like it has like a high 3, low 4 rating on Goodreads. I don't really remember. But I feel like from everybody I've seen on YouTube talk about it, like the people I follow, nobody really liked it. So I feel like it's not really in the center. There we go. Nobody really loved it. I really liked it. I think I gave it 4 stars. Really enjoyed the writing, liked the book. I think I read it in one sitting. And I just love the premise of Darling Girls. I'm pretty sure it's like 3 different girls that were like foster siblings together or like adopted together type thing. And the foster mother, everybody thought she was great, but really she was evil. Like she's giving Miss Hannigan, I think is that her name from Annie vibes. And then she dies and they find like dead bodies buried in the backyard. So they're going through like what happened. The trio of Destiny, Sarah, and Haley have all read it. Destiny gave it a 2. I think she said it was mystery, not a thriller. But I think it's classified as mystery thriller. I also agree that I wish that they were 2 separate things, because something can be a mystery and not be thrilling, you know? So sometimes I wish there was more separation there. And then I think Haley gave it a 3 and Sarah gave it a 4. And then Haley Barber also read it and gave it a 4, this book. So I think I will most likely give it a 4, but we'll see. Maybe it has 5-star potential. We do not know. But I'm definitely going to be sitting here. This is going to replace you guys. Do you guys like my cute little Kindle decor? Cannoli, because Italy, Italian, love them. Diet Coke, because duh, a taco shaped like Mickey, of course. Zuko, that's Chippendale as corn. We've got the Lip Smackers, I'm addicted to chapstick, and a McDonald's soda, because Lida. But we're going to get right on into this book. Let's check. Is it long chapters or short chapters? Oh, multi-POV, we love that. It starts at like the office of Dr. Warren, whatever. It's like the prologue. I love multiple point of views. That's really exciting. And it looks like the chapters are like less than 10 pages each, which we'd love to see. So let's go. I'm only 3% in, but the statement of yet he said he was interesting, yet he already mentioned his passion for Dungeons and Dragons twice when I'm literally playing Dungeons and Dragons tomorrow. Nora. That is interesting, my girl. And now we're here into the final thoughts. I will go through and give you like my general rating, and then we will get into spoilers. I ended up giving The Measure 5 stars. I was originally going to give it 4.5, but like I have read 3 or 4 books since then, and it's still all I can think about, so it's going to be 5 stars. I gave The Tattooist of Auschwitz 4 stars. Darling Girls by Sally Hepworth 4 stars. I gave Hello Stranger by Catherine Center, I believe, 5 stars. Gave Final Girls by Riley Sager 2 stars. Twice in a Blue Moon by Christina Lauren 1 star. The Housemaid is Watching 4 stars. And Yours Truly by Abby Hannah is 5 stars. I guess we had at least one of every star. So we love to see it. But we are going to jump into the spoiler portion of this video. So if you do not want to see that, then you can skip over. Chris put spoiler across the screen. So we'll go best to worst, I guess. The worst book I read, and I will be de-hauling. It's so sad though, because it's so pretty. And that is Twice in a Blue Moon by Christina Lauren. This is the first Christina Lauren book that I have absolutely hated. I hated every second of reading it. This book, I was so excited about it when I grabbed it in my TBR jar video, but this is about Sam and Tate. And basically Tate is the daughter of the Brad Pitt of this book, and when she was 8 or something, her dad was constantly cheating on her mom, so her mom took her and they left, and then she never saw her dad again, changed her last name. Her grandmother takes her on this trip to London or something, somewhere in Europe, and they become friends with this grandpa or dad, I can't even really remember, and kid named Sam and Tate, it's for 2 weeks they're hanging out, and then they're all of a sudden in love, all of a sudden having sex, and she's 18 and he's 21, and they're doing it in the park, whatever, but she's obsessed with him, tells him her deep dark secret about who she really is, he sells her out, and it took us about 45% of the book to get through that backstory before we got to the actual story, which was Tate and her dad know each other now, and they were acting in a movie together, and it turns out that Sam wrote the movie, and then all of a sudden she instantly forgives him and they're back in love, and it was just corny, and that will be going in my getting rid of. Next we have Final Girls by Riley Sager, and even though I did not like this book, Riley Sager is my favorite author, and I have all of his books, so I will be keeping it for that reason. What was this even about? I read this while I was on vacation. This is about Quincy Carpenter, and she is a final girl. Her and Lisa and what's the other gal's name? I feel like it's Samantha. Sam, yeah, it's also Sam. So there is Quincy and Sam and Lisa. They're all final girls from different situations. Lisa feels like they need to still be in cahoots with one another. And then all of a sudden Lisa is found she KILL'd herself in the bathtub. And just everything about this was not good. I don't even really remember it enough to super tell you. I mean, it was his first thriller, so I guess I can see why it wasn't great, but Sam just shows up in Quincy's life. Nobody has seen Sam in years because she's been living off the grid. Turns out it's not really Sam. The real Sam's actually dead. I don't know. It was not good. I don't recommend, but I will be keeping because, yeah. I guess I didn't have any 3 stars. 1, 2, and then a bunch of 4s. 4 stars. We have Darling Girls by Sally Hepworth. I literally finished this moments ago. This book is about 3 gals. Their names are Jessica, Nora, and Alicia. It is multi-point of view, multi-timeline. And essentially, they were all foster children for various reasons. This book has a lot of trigger warnings. I would definitely look them up. It deals a lot with not treating children very well, and essay, stuff like that. So if you aren't able to read things like that, don't read this book. But basically, the 3 of them, they're going back in time about what happened when they were in this foster home called something, had a specific name. It was with this lady named Miss Fairchild, and it was on this farm, the Wild Meadows. And basically, Miss Fairchild started out with getting Jessica, and she treated her really nice until all of a sudden she was too poor to afford her. So she ended up, for the money, getting another foster child, and that was Nora. And then she started being mean to Jessica and was why are you calling me mommy? Call me Mrs. Fairchild, blah, blah, blah. Mind you, she had already tried to, like, drown Jessica, so I'm not really sure what that was. And then eventually they get a third one named Alicia. And then eventually, like, they get all of these babies, and Miss Fairchild's, like, abusing them. And it's just, like, really, really sad. But the whole thing is, like, in the present time, they're all dealing with their own issues as, like, a result of being foster children. And they all get calls from a detective that as they were digging, the house had been sold, and they, like, knocked it down to build a McDonald's. That was specifically what they said they were doing with it. But in that time of digging up the ground for the parking lot, they found a human remains. And so they all needed to go and, like, figure out what happened. And it was really sad, but it was really, really good. Another really sad book was The Tattooist of Auschwitz by Heather Morris. This is about Lyle, and he becomes anybody else hate these kind of pages? He is Jewish, and so he gets taken to Auschwitz during the Holocaust and gets a job as being the tattooist, and it's just going through his story and his love story with, I don't know if it's Gita or Gita, and their love story of finding their way together and, like, surviving. But it was so sad, so heavy. It's very short, which was helpful, but I do really, really want to watch the movie. But you just get to look into the eyes of somebody who was actually there, and it's very, very sad. Then we finished The Housemaid is Watching by Frida McFadden. This one was quite long for a housemaid book, almost 400 pages, but I really liked this. I gave this 4 stars. I would rank them first book, third book, second book. The second book was definitely the weakest, IMO. In this book, it is years later, like 12 years later, and Millie and Enzo are now married, and they have 2 children, a son and a daughter, Ada and Nico, and they finally can afford to move in to a house. So they buy this house on this cul-de-sac, and they have a plethora of weird neighbors. There's, I think, Lucille across the way is, like, the busybody nosy lady, or no. Is Lucille the next? No, Suzanne is the next door lady who's, like, hitting on Enzo all the time and being obnoxious. And it just, like, perfectly closes out the trilogy. So basically, Millie hates the next door neighbor because she feels like she's hitting on her husband. It's like, this whole thing. And through the story, you basically find out that, like, the lady next door was basically trying to prevent anybody from, like, any kids or anything from happening in her house because she knew that her husband was a perv. And everybody in the neighborhood, aka the crazy lady across the street, was constantly worried about her son, something happening to her son, because the son a town over was, like, went missing. And you find out throughout the story that, like, he was in their house, and, like, the next door neighbor husband was the one who killed him. And then everybody thinks that Enzo's being framed for killing the dude because he ends up dead. And it turns out it was Enzo and Millie's daughter, Ada, because he was trying to abduct her, essentially. And then their housemaid ends up coming back in the house to steal some things because Enzo was helping her get away from her abusive partner, which, if you know anything about the housemaid, obviously makes sense that something like that would come up. And he was actually still alive. Ada hadn't killed him, but she finished him off. And the last line, I'm going to read it to you in this book, in the trilogy, if you have read it, you will get it. It says, I suppose nobody ever, or hold on. I'll read the last paragraph and sentence. For the last 2 weeks, I have been certain the truth would be discovered. I have been certain that the police would come knocking on my motel door, ready for a warrant to arrest me for the murder of Jonathan Lowell. But it hasn't happened. They haven't arrested me. They haven't even questioned me. I suppose nobody ever suspects the housemaid. Chills. Such a good ending. And then we do have our 2 5-stars. We will start with Hello Stranger by Catherine Center. This is my first Catherine Center, and it was so, so good. This is about Sadie Montgomery, and she is a painter. Her mom was a painter, and her mom died when she was 14, and there was a lot of, like, dead mom references, which, as a dead mom haver, it got me right in the feels. And basically, she has been a struggling artist for forever. Whenever she switched her major in school from becoming a doctor and going into medicine to becoming an artist, her dad essentially was like, well, I'm not helping you figure it out. Her dad wanted her to be a doctor like him. She wants to be an artist like her mom. And it's like this whole thing. So she's been lying to her dad this whole time about her being, like, a successful artist. And then she gets her big break. She got into this, like, prestigious art program. Her friends throw her a party and send her to the store to get wine, and on her way back from the store, something happens. She has a seizure of sorts, ends up in the hospital, and they find that she needs brain surgery. She has the surgery, and an effect of the surgery is she then acquires face blindness, and as being a portrait artist, it really affects her life, and it affects it in more than one way. This does have slight miscommunication tropes, but more so in the sense that she was really like embarrassed about the face blindness and didn't want people to take advantage of it, so she tried really hard to hide it, and due to that, it involved some miscommunication, and the whole thing was so funny. I guessed like what was happening, but I still really, really, really loved it, and I can't wait to read more from Catherine Center. My favorite book I read in this was definitely Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez. It makes me want to go back and rate Part of Your World a 3 instead of a 4 because this was so exponentially better. This one is about Brianna and Jacob, and they're both doctors in the same hospital, and they're corresponding a lot of the time through these letters, which just made my heart melt. And he has like really bad social anxiety, and just like then they're fake dating to help with like his family getting on his case because his girlfriend of like a lot of years broke up with him, and then it like less than a year later is engaged to his brother. I don't know, and his whole family like hates her because of it. But he has a one-legged Bernese Mountain Dog, and the whole thing was just so cute, so good. Loved it, loved it, loved it. I don't think you need to read the other one to read this one. It was so good. But that is everything for this video. All of the books that I read, only one real fail. I mean, the Riley Sager one wasn't great, but I'm glad to know I've read all of his books. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you did not, then well, give it a thumbs down. Either way, you're helping out my channel. Comment down below, subscribe if you have not already, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.